Good morning and welcome to another pre-market session with the Market Trader. My name's Ray, the Market Trader. And before we begin, we'll need to review our risk disclosure. So we'll go ahead and do that. So just to one that the content that's being published and distributed by the Market Trader is to be used as general information only. None of the information provided by the company or contained herein is intended as investment advice and offered to buy, sell, recommend, endorse, sponsor any security, company, or fund. Use of the information contained herein is to be used at your own risk, and the company, its partners, representatives, agents, employees, contractors assume no responsibility or liability for any use or misuse of such information. We all understand that future trading does carry a fair amount of risk, and an investor could potentially lose all or more of their investment capital. Only risk capital money that can be lost without jeopardizing one's financial security or lifestyle should be used for trading, and only those individuals with sufficient risk capital should consider trading. Again, nothing contained herein is a solicitation to buy, sell futures, options, or Forex, and past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Okay. So now that we have the risk disclosure out of the way, we're going to focus our attention now on the news, what news we have in the horizon that could potentially impact the markets. Okay, so we'll go ahead and move to that. Here we are. Okay, so you can see here that we have actually three major news events that could potentially impact the markets. That's at 9:45, 10 a.m., 9:45 and 10 a.m. So we have U.S. S&P manufacturing PMI final. We have U.S. JOLTS job openings at 10 a.m. And then we have U.S. ISM manufacturing PMI also happening at 10 a.m. We have some lesser events, but still could be impactful. U.S. construction spending month over month. We have U.S. ISM manufacturing prices paid also coming in at 10 a.m. And then there's a roundtable discussion, maybe results out of that coming in at 11 a.m. Okay. So fair amount of news that are coming into the markets today and over the next hour. Okay. That could very well impact the markets. Okay. But the granddaddy of all days, okay, is going to be this coming Thursday, where we have a good amount of news coming in. Okay. So non-farm payroll, unemployment, jobless claims, a composite PMI, S&P services. So a lot of news coming in on July 3rd. Okay. So now that we have a feel for the news, we'll now turn our attention to our charts. And as usual, we will start off with the gold market here. Okay. So let's open that up here. We'll start off with the gold, and then we'll move on to other markets. So we'll go ahead and okay, let's go ahead and modify this from micro gold to full mini gold. Continuous contract. Okay, take a look. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and turn off our initial balance here for a moment. Remove any drawings here for now. Even let's turn off ADR here for a moment. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and take a look at the daily chart. Okay, So you can see that over the course of the last few months, gold continues to be in some sort of consolidation pattern. Okay, so you can see that a lot of overlapping candles here. Okay, and of late, looks like we've responded to the I would say 3,300 level, maybe as low as 3,280. Over the last day and into today, looks like we've gotten a bit of a reaction here away from 3,300. Okay. So while we are in some sort of consolidation pattern, we are seeing that we are maybe potentially breaking some structure here that would lead us to higher prices. Moving down to the 4 hour chart. Okay, 4 hour chart. Again, you can see the series of bullish candles that we've received of late here. Okay, series of bullish candles here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This most recent candle appears to be looking to break above, I would say, another area of structure here. We're right at the high here at 33.63. Okay. And we have an area above here at 3,400. Okay, that could potentially be resistant. Okay, we could very well find some sellers there, but nonetheless, much like the daily chart, the 4 hour does appear to be quite bullish. Okay, of late, since Sunday, we've been in a quite a bullish move. Moving down to the 30-minute chart. 30-minute chart. We're going to go ahead and open up our initial balance since that is now available here. Let's see if I can locate that. Okay, it looks like I removed it accidentally. So let's go ahead and add that back in. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and remove one of these. We're going to modify initial balance here for a little bit. Oops, that's not what I want. Okay, we'll go ahead and mark the initial balance area in yellow. We'll identify our 50 and 100% extensions of the initial balance in red. Okay, so there we are. So at the moment, we're developing a rather narrow initial balance range. You can see here our initial balance range is quite narrow. We are quite extended, I would say, away from initial balance, not initial balance, VWAP. Okay, quite extended from VWAP at the moment. We're going to go ahead and open up our fixed range volume profile, but I believe I know the answer to this question. But nonetheless, we'll confirm it. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start our initial balance at the start of the session into the close of the session here. Okay, and you can see that price is well above value in from yesterday. Okay, so during the overnight session, a fair number of bulls, okay, enter the market. Okay, so a lot of longs in the market at the moment. Okay, so looking at the initial balance, and the initial balance is again quite narrow. Looking at some areas of maybe some potential participation in the market. Certainly, this area down below here, this area at 33.46, does serve as a location that will serve as a price reference level that we can leverage here, okay, to support a long. Okay, so that area right there, I'm going to go ahead and open up settlement price. That's way below here. That's, well, also obviously we have the combination of value area high and settlement price again. So this is also another area that I would say could act as supportive. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and open up our anchored VWAP here for London. And let's see, London. right about there. Okay, so you can see that London could also serve as an area of support here. So I'm gonna go ahead and mark that level in as a possible area of participation. Okay. So yeah, so the market continues to drive higher. I would say that it'll be important to locate levels where we can better manage our risk. Certainly, if we get an extension of the initial balance range here, okay, so if we get an extension of the initial balance range, the initial balance high could also serve as a level that currently sits at 33.71. Okay, so that could be a level. So yeah, so again, headed into today's session, it appears that we are in quite a bullish market here. I'm going to go ahead and open up visible range volume profile. You can see here that we are well above value. Okay, well above value from this range. Okay, so again, in this visible range, we have another area here that we could maybe identify as another area of support. So there's a number of levels below that could serve as supportive in this market. And as traders, we need to remain patient and wait for a proper level where we can manage our risk. So right now, I would say 3346.8, 3357.4, and then maybe potentially if we do get a break above and a hold above, then right now it's sitting at 3371.6 as a few levels that to pay particular attention to. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead now and move on to the crude oil market. Crude oil market. Okay. We have we'll start off with a daily chart here. Starting off with a daily. Okay. So again, we're going to remove some of our drawings. Oops. What did I do? Okay. Let's remove drawings, not indicators. Okay, there it is. So daily chart again, really not offering a whole lot of direction at the moment. Although I will say that the fact that we're developing a bullish daily candle here is something to take note of. So if we continue to hold this, then maybe we are building up some interest here in this market. But right now, I would say that the market is neutral. I say bearish to neutral on the daily. We are coming into a obviously area here that we've been in for quite some time. I would say 64 remains an area of support here. Okay, so 64. And then I think on the top side, I think we've already kind of identified earlier in earlier sessions that 66 is an area of resistance. Okay, so again, indicating that we are in some sort of range kind of price action in this market. Okay, so let's go ahead and move down to the 4-hour chart. We'll take a look at the 4-hour chart, and again, you can see that we'll turn off initial balance here for a moment. Okay. Turn that off there. Okay. So you can see even in the 4-hour chart here, okay, if I get some more evidence and things shift here a little bit. But in any case, you can see that we are very much in some, bearish kind of price action. Again, you can see here on below, right, we are in a very, tight range. Okay, tight range in this market. Go ahead and draw this in some gray color, not providing any sort of direction here, right? So very much in range, very much in some sort of consolidation range. It could be that participants are accumulating, okay, here at this point to maybe potentially create a situation where they drive price higher. Okay. I would say that this candle on the 4-hour is of significance. We saw this on the daily as well. You can see that this one daily candle is wiping out a lot of activity that we've had here over the last week. Okay. So it'll be interesting to see if this 4-hour candle does indeed hold in its current form, because that could maybe be the impetus maybe for price to continue. Okay, but all in all, we do need to see that we can get price above 66. Okay, if we can get price above 66, that could potentially cause the market to rally and maybe begin to rally back to some of these highs that we have here on the left-hand side. Okay. Moving on to the 30-minute chart. 30-minute chart. We'll take a little drink here before as the chart is loading. Okay. Looking at the 30-minute chart, we're gonna go ahead and remove some of our drawings. I think we know that we are in some sort of range here. So you can see here in London, looks like during London, looks like we got some sort of news that caused the market to rally. Now, now we are in the top end of that rally and holding strong. Okay, you see that we're getting some rejection candles here. Okay, indicating that there is a fair amount of momentum potentially behind this move. Okay, so we had a rally higher. We're in some sort of consolidation pattern. We attempted to head lower, and that bit has been met with some more buying. Okay, and you can see here that it is right around this area of value here. Okay, so right around this level here. Okay, so that is appears to be a supportive range here around 65.42. I'm going to go ahead and mark that in as green. Okay, so 65.42 does appear to be an area of support. We're going to go ahead now and open up our fixed range volume profile here and take a look here at the start of Monday into the close of Monday. Okay, and you can see that price is above value. Okay, so indicating that there are participants who are very open to pay a premium to be a part of this market. So again, that's an indication of bullish behavior, bullish action. Okay, going on in the market. We're still about 10 minutes away from the initial balance range. Okay, so the expectation is that we will indeed open above value. Okay, again, kind of further cementing our view here of bullish price action. So at this point, I would say that 66 continues to be an area here that I'm going to be particularly keen on and watching to see if we do manage to get above it. So I'm going to go ahead and mark this area here. It's kind of an area of resistance, supply area. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and mark this in red. Okay, this remains a supply zone. All right, so as long as we remain below that level, then the expectation is that maybe we make another rotation. Okay, back to the downside. Okay, point of control serving as maybe here on the point of control that I have drawn here on the right could serve as an area. Now, what is interesting is that when this level here at 65.44 does appear to have some buyers. Okay, so it'll be interesting if price does manage to close or come close to this area, whether the buyers will step in the same way that they stepped in prior. Okay, so right now I can see that we are in some sort of consolidation range as we approach the open of the crude oil market. So it'll be interesting to see if we do manage to hold this level, or we start to rally higher. Okay, so heading into the market, I would say that market is still in range, although in the lower time frame we're starting to see some activity to the bullish side. So we'll have to wait and see how the initial balance opens. Okay, what kind of initial balance range gets established in this market before we make any sort of decision on which direction they want to take the market. We are at the upper end of the range. If we use history as our guide, then history tells us that potentially we are going to rotate lower from these levels. Okay. But this is not the first time we've been up this level. This is the first, second, third time. So it'll be interesting to see if we do indeed rotate, and whether we rotate and create maybe another higher high in this market that could lead us to maybe a potential breakout of this market here. Okay. All right. So yeah, headed into the session, I would say that I'm kind of cautiously bullish. Okay, especially on the lower time frame. I'm starting to see some evidence that maybe we are going to potentially head higher. So headed into the session, I'm going to be looking for maybe some bullish opportunities here. So I would say this level down below here at VWAP would serve as a nice area here at 65.30. We have this other area here at the top end of value here around 66.62. And I just marked off another level that was reactive here around 65.41. Okay, so headed into the session, again, looking for bullish opportunities in the crude oil market. Okay, all right, moving on to the NASDAQ. Moving on to the NASDAQ, we're going to go ahead and remove some of our drawings here. Again, kind of take a little step back and take a look at what the market is trying to accomplish. And you can see very well that the market continues to drive higher. Okay, in this market, we have this 23,000 level that we have yet to technically reach. So I'm going to kind of mark that kind of as a psychological level here. Okay, so right about here, 23,000, right about there. Okay, is a psychological level, and I would expect that could potentially serve as some sort of resistance to price. Okay, nonetheless, we do appear to be in quite a strong bullish direction in the market at the moment. Moving down to the 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart, you can see that as we approach this 2,300 level or 23,000 level, that we've started to see, kind of a little bit of a rounding top here, a little bit of loss of momentum to the upside. So is that going to lead to some sort of pullback in this market? Something back to, say, the top end of this value area here at value area high. Is that the possibility? We do see that price is below our VWAP. So the momentum to the upside is indeed slowing. Okay, but we do see that there is some evidence of buying. Okay, with each dip lower, it seems that each dip is being bought. And we're seeing some evidence here in this current 4-hour candle as well. Okay, let's go ahead now and move down to the 30-minute chart. Looking at the 30-minute chart. Okay, so we'll go ahead and remove our drawings here. Okay, so we have settlement above here. Again, this did not technically reach the 23,000 level. Okay, I came close, but got to it and reversed. Okay. So I don't know. This does appear, at least on the for those who are head and shoulder pattern aficionados. I do see that there is some sort of maybe a head and shoulder pattern that's being developed here on the 30-minute with. So this is being the right shoulder here, and then over here on the left-hand side, the left shoulder. Okay, this does appear to be some sort of head and shoulder pattern. Okay, so again, if we take the head, okay, the head, if we measure the head here from the top of the head to the neckline, okay, so that is telling us that maybe there is a move of this magnitude, which is kind of pretty close in this market. Okay, so it would take us back down to settlement from Thursday. Okay. So that's somewhat of interest here. Okay. Let's go ahead and open up our fixed range volume profile. Let's get a sense for where price is in relation to yesterday's pricing here. So you can see if we draw this across here. Okay. So we are below value. Okay. Below value from Friday. So there's a lot of, I would say, overnight folks who are short this market. Okay. From the start of the Asia session looks like we do have a fair number of people who are short this market. Okay. So what does that tell us in the short term? Well, in the short term, it provides us opportunities to maybe potentially participate in a downside move. And we have some reference now. We have some reference levels above us now that we've broken some structure here. So we have this area right here. Okay, value area low that could serve. This is the 22,800 level, maybe 22,810. If we are going to continue in this kind of bearish kind of on the short term, that area right there could offer us a location where we can manage our risk and participate in some sort of downside move in this market. We have the point of control not only in the fixed volume profile, but in the visible volume profile that could also serve as an area of maybe a resistance and a reaction to price. Okay, so this level here around 22,831, 830, somewhere in that range. That could also be another area where we can again manage our risk and participate in a downside move. Okay, as long as price remains below value and below our VWAP, we have to kind of give an edge to the bears. Okay, in this market. Now, once price, if assuming price gets above this level, then we can probably turn our attention to more bullish scenarios. Okay. Right now, we seem to be reacting, and we have a VWAP that is sloping to the downside. So since it's sloping to the downside, we need to focus our attention on trades to the downside. Okay, at least on the short term. Okay. All right. Let's see if there's anything else that I want to call out here in the Nasdaq. Again, it does appear that we are getting a little bit of reaction here down at Thursday's or Friday's settlement price here. So again, another area of maybe that we could potentially find some buyers here. This does appear to be a minor level of support here down at this level, but it'll be interesting for me to see. Okay, if this bullish move is indeed has the participants to drive price higher, how we react around the volume weighted average price, this line in blue. Okay. That's going to be kind of the true test for me. If price is able to get above that level or not, or whether whether the VWAP is going to serve as a way for participants to add to their bearish portfolio in this market. Okay. Okay. So that's kind of what I have for the Nasdaq. We'll go ahead and move on to the ES. Okay. So ES here, again, we'll start off with a daily chart. Okay, so daily chart here. Remove some of our drawings. Okay, so again, similar to what we were seeing on the NASDAQ, you know, we see that we have a market that is quite bullish. We have an inside candle here, inside daily candle that's developing, okay, indicating that we have not been able to get above the prior candle. Okay, so that could maybe spell maybe a little bit of a pullback in this market. Okay, let's go ahead and move down to the 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart, you see, again, similar to what we were seeing in the Nasdaq, you can see that we are developing a little bit of a rounding top here. Okay, a little bit of a rounding top. We are seeing a little bit of a slowdown in the upward direction of this market. We made an attempt to get above, was rejected, managed to get above, only to be met by sellers. Okay, so kind of interesting kind of price action that we're seeing at the moment. Okay, indicating that maybe the sellers are beginning to maybe step in here a bit more stronger than maybe they have in the past. Again, you can even make a case here that maybe we are even creating a little bit of a double top here on the daily or 4-hour, I should say. Okay. Moving down to the 30-minute chart. Okay. You can see that we had a series of candles here to the downside. Okay. So there's a fair number of people who are short this market during the overnight. Okay. A lot of short biases going on right now in this market. Okay, we are coming into some areas of support. This area here around 62 or yeah, 62, say 30, does appear to be a supportive area. So I'm going to go ahead and mark that area. Try to get as many touches here as I can. Going to bring this down here a little bit. Okay, so this does appear to be somewhat of a supportive area. I'm going to go ahead and mark this in green. Okay, so somewhat of a supportive area. However, price is below VWAP, okay, indicating that there is a fair amount of bearish price action that's taking place at the moment, okay. Let's go ahead and open up our fixed range volume profile. We'll go ahead and start with the open of Monday into the close of Monday, okay, and you can see that the ES is slightly less, I guess, bearish. We are at the low end of value from Monday, okay, indicating that maybe we are going to remain in range, okay, in sort of range kind of price action in the ES, okay, so slightly less bearish, okay, on the ES than what we saw in the Nasdaq, okay. Price did manage to hold above value from yesterday, okay. So that could create the possibility of rotating back to the high end of value here, okay. What we do see is that price remains below VWAP. So kind of mixed messages here. So some sentiment here that indicates that maybe we are going to see additional bearish kind of price action. However, we were not able to get below value, indicating that there is a balanced kind of, I guess, price activity that's currently underway in the S&P. Okay. All right. So headed into the session, I would say that I'm probably a little bit more neutral to bearish on the ES. I'm seeing that some evidence of maybe some range kind of price action in this market. So we'll have to kind of play it that way. It'll be interesting for me to see what happens to price action right around this 62.40 level. Okay, whether that serves as an area for resistance and maybe for potentially another leg lower. Okay, another leg lower in this market. Okay, that's kind of what I'm looking at right now. Okay, so we got a nice push. I don't know, this is kind of a little bit of an exhaustive sell that didn't generate what I think many have anticipated is a continuation move. Has caused sellers to step into this market, and now we'll have to see how price reacts as we approach the open of the session and into the session. Okay, so again, heading into the session, I would say that I would say neutral. Okay, neutral on the ES. Kind of expecting maybe a little bit of range kind of price action. Looks like we found maybe a temporary bottom here at 62.30. And then our top obviously is above here at 62.57, 62.60. Okay, area. That's the top end of the range. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead now and move on to the Dow. Okay, so looking at the Dow, we're open up the daily chart here. Okay. Again, we can see unlike our other equities here, we're seeing the same kind of price action, but less of a bearish, kind of maybe a candle of indecision here with this doji that we're seeing on the daily at the moment. So a little bit of indecision, a little bit of an indecision candle here at the on the Dow, but nonetheless, we still are seeing quite the strength here in the markets. Okay, so daily still very much bullish. Moving down to the 4 hour, showing a little bit similar to what we were seeing on the and I guess the result of the little indecision candle that we saw on the daily. A little bit of a slowdown here, a little bit of maybe a consolidation that's taking place here at the top end of the range. We still have this 45,000 level still above us. If you looked here to the left here, that we are kind of coming into an area of some congestion Okay, that could cause price to stall. Okay, and we are seeing a little bit of a slowdown in the advancement of price here. Okay, so you can see that price is developing some volume, almost creating a little bit of a double distribution here. We've now kind of surpassed the low end of this candle, causing this uh, uh, this volume bar to kind of assume point of control. Okay, so indicating when we see that our point of control has gone from lower to higher, again, that's an indication of kind of bullish price action. That there is some level of acceptance of higher pricing in this market. Okay, all right, let's take a look at the 30-minute chart. Looking at the 30-minute chart, we're gonna take a look here. We're gonna open up our fixed range volume profile. There's the kind of similar kind of head and shoulder pattern that we saw, right? This is the left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Generated a little bit of a pullback, but maybe it's an opportunity for maybe some continued bullish price action in this market. Okay, we're going to go ahead and open up our fixed range volume profile. We're going to go ahead and start off with the open of the market here on Monday into the close on Monday. And you can see that price, much like the ES, okay, appears to will open inside value from yesterday, okay, indicating that we could see continued kind of range, kind of price action in the Dow. We do see that price right now is hovering right at the edge of VWAP. Okay, we had a sharp push to the downside, only to be met by buyers. Again, I don't know if this is a way to wash out some of the weak hands on the bullish side, so that banks and other participants can drive price higher. That remains to be seen. If we do manage to close above, say, this 42,000, let's say 375 level, we do have settlement price up above here, so that also could be another area of some resistance. So we'll just go ahead and mark this. Let me kind of identify this level here as maybe a resistance zone for price. Okay, but we're starting to see a little bit of price action that would indicate that maybe there is a buildup of momentum here to the upside. Okay. We got a little kind of flush to the downside, washed out a bunch of hopeful buyers, and now we are seeing a series of candles. Obviously, we need to break some structure here to the top side, but this particular chart is looking a little bit more bullish to me as each candle develops here. Okay. All right. Let's go back and just kind of summarize kind of where we stand across all markets. So we'll take a look. Start again with the gold, okay, gold market, and we'll take a look and see where we stand. So the gold market has been in quite the bullish run in the overnight. We're starting to see some price action that would indicate maybe we are starting to see maybe some sellers step into this market here. We're going to go ahead and open up initial balance. So initial balance is, let's open this up. This should be for the hour range, not for the 30-minute range. Okay, so there it is. Okay. So we have an initial balance range that's still being developed. We're still about 20 minutes away from this initial balance range being created. The fact that we're getting a bullish engulfing candle here on the 30-minute could indicate that maybe we get a little bit of a retracement or a little bit of retracement back down to some of these prior levels that we've identified. So it'll be interesting to see in which direction we do get initial balance to break, and whether that's going to serve as a little bit of a sustained auction to the downside to some of these levels that we've identified, or whether this is an opportunity for maybe a little bit of a pullback to offer yet another location to drive price higher in this market. Because as you can see here, we outside of this most recent candle, we've made some higher highs and higher lows in this market. So I would say that the market is still bullish. But we are maybe potentially looking at maybe retracing here a bit for maybe our next leg higher. Okay. Crude oil. Take a last peek of crude oil. We have a rather strong bearish candle here that's being developed here as with the open of the initial balance here. Okay. Assuming that this can close as bearish, that could very well lead us to maybe a kind of a rotation back to lower prices. Okay. Because we are very much in range in this market. Okay. So this is the third time we've gotten some sort of reaction. So I would say that we need to continue to play this market as a range. Sell 66, buy 64 is kind of the mode going forward until we get participants to tell us otherwise. Okay. And then NASDAQ is kind of a little bit of a mixed bag. Okay. We were seeing some evidence of price getting below value. That has kind of firmed up here a little bit. Now we are back at the value area low and looking to challenge to maybe potentially get back inside it with the open of this market. So we'll have to see. Okay, we have again a number of folks that are short this market in the overnight. We'll have to see if we do remain below VWAP. Okay, because VWAP could offer us maybe a location to entertain maybe a short trade in this market. Okay, otherwise, if we get above VWAP, it's kind of like kind of using VWAP as kind of my sentiment indicator. Then we should probably begin to take a look at maybe some opportunities to the upside. Okay, so right now I would say that I still remain at least on the short term a bit bearish. I'm starting to see a little bit of slowdown in the higher time frames. So that which could lead to maybe a continuation move here to the downside. We'll have to wait and see what evidence we get on this market, and then we'll just take a quick peek at the ES and the YM. They're both kind of showing various levels of strength here. I would say that ES showing more kind of rangy kind of price action. It appears that we're going to open up inside value from yesterday, and then lastly the YM. YM here. Okay. Oops. Also on the upper end of value here. So I would say of all